Hey y'all, so here's another home health aid chronicle. So I had this one patient I was filling in for. We're gonna call him Leroy, and you know by his name, yeah, Leroy. So I went to visit Leroy. When I first got to his house, it was very dim. You know how when you walk in somebody's house and it's not kept, and you don't really want to touch nothing because, I don't like bugs and stuff. So I get in the house and Leroy is seated to the left. And when I walk in, he all of a sudden lights up and is like, hey. And I'm like, hey, how you doing, sir? And he's just looking at me. And he says, you can go on and have a seat. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, okay. So I go ahead and I sit down. And he's talking to me and lets me know that I'm pretty. And he's just talking. And, the room is dim. And I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna need this one to go on and hurry up because I don't want to be here for too long. So Leroy, legs looked like they were swollen. It was hard for him to get around. He was on some type of medication that he decided he didn't want to take that day. I think he had high blood pressure, diabetes. So I'm sitting there with Leroy, just, me and Leroy. And he says to me, can you go get me something to eat? And I'm like, well, okay, because anything is better than just sitting here, So I'm like, okay, sure. And he makes me a whole list. So I'm like a waiter, making a menu list. He wanted something like some chitlins and some greens and mashed potatoes, and it was a bunch of, stuff that he probably shouldn't have been eating. And I'm like, sir, is it okay for you to have this stuff? Because aren't you under nurse care or something? Don't you have a restricted diet? And, he was like, I just need you to go get the food. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I don't want to irritate you. I don't want you to get upset with me. I've had enough dealings with, patients who, So I'm like, okay. So I get the list, and then he wants me to go to a soul food restaurant, right? So I get to the soul food restaurant, and whatever it was he wanted, I think it was like chitlins or something, they didn't have it, and he was irritated because that's specifically what he wanted from that soul food restaurant. So he was a little irritated. And then I'm like, okay, well, here's the options, because, I can go somewhere else. And it might have been like neck bones, pork chops or something. Whatever it was probably stuff that he still should not be eating. And so when I called him to let him know that, they didn't have what he wanted and he had to pick another option, he says, and then stop by Brahms and get me some ice cream. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to just live it up today. You know what I'm saying? Is it because I'm feeling in and I don't know no better? Because I don't think you're supposed to be having all this stuff, sir. But nonetheless, I got him the soul food he wanted. Stopped by Brahms and got him some ice cream. Got back and he was super excited. So I'm thinking, you probably ain't been eating this stuff. And you gonna send me out to get this stuff, sir. But he's an adult, so I can't, wrestle with, nothing, because I'm just doing my job. I'm just, following directions, doing my job or whatever. And, I get back and bring him his food. He's happy about that. And I think my shift that day was a little short, which was good because it was nothing but dim lights and me and Leroy. And you know how some seniors, when they're males, they just want a female to be around. And, I don't have no conversation because it ain't a whole bunch I can do because stuff is cluttered everywhere. And I don't want to just sit here. So I think he might have had let me go ahead and go home early, which was good for me because, really wasn't nothing to do, So, yeah, I didn't go back to him no more. And I probably, if they'd have called me, I probably wouldn't have went back because it really ain't nothing to do. And, I don't want to be just sitting there and the man looking at me like I'm a piece of meat, like I'm a piece of greasy fried chicken, I don't like that, I've dealt with enough, harassing stuff, even the looks, and no. So anyway, thankfully, I think he let me go ahead and leave early that day. So yeah, these home health aid chronicles are something else. But thank y'all for listening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.